If you look up long enough, you start to feel something most people never admit out loud. The sky changes. Lights appear where none existed. Objects cross our view once and never return. And every now and then, something arrives that forces us to question what we think we know. Right now, the world is watching one of those moments. 3I Atlas, only the third confirmed interstellar object in human history, is drifting through our solar system, behaving in ways no comet should, igniting speculation, fear, wonder, and confusion all at once. Some say it might be a messenger. Others insist it's just ice and dust. And the truth sits somewhere in the quiet space between them. Tonight, we're going to strip away the noise, sift through the real data, and explore why this visitor has captured so much attention and why so many people are asking the same question. What exactly is 3I Atlas?
When astronomers first detected 3I Atlas in July 2025, it appeared as nothing more than a faint blur, a small hazy smudge, barely distinguishable from background noise. But the moment its trajectory was calculated, everything changed. Unlike asteroids or comets bound to our sun, this object was traveling on a hyperbolic path, meaning it wasn't from here, it wasn't returning, it wasn't captured. It was passing through our solar system from another star entirely, making it only the third interstellar visitor humans have ever confirmed. What startled scientists immediately was how early the object became active. Comets usually wake up when they approach the sun and their icy surfaces begin to boil away. But 3I Atlas was outgassing long before it should have been, nearly 3 times farther from the sun than Earth. Water vapor and carbon dioxide were already streaming from its surface, as if something inside it had switched on too early. Or it carried unusually volatile ices that evaporate at lower temperatures than we're used to seeing. Its chemical ratios added another layer of strangeness. Far more carbon dioxide relative to water vapor than typical comets, almost like it belonged to a very different environment. Because it did. And as telescopes zoomed in, the coma surrounding the nucleus didn't behave the way comets normally do. It appeared asymmetrical, with faint jets pointing toward the sun rather than away from it, defying the usual logic of solar heating. For most scientists, these oddities were simply clues, indicators of an object formed in a different kind of solar system, under different temperatures and pressures, with different chemical building blocks. But other researchers noticed something else. The path 3I Atlas followed as it moved through the solar system didn't resemble random chance. Interstellar objects should arrive from any direction. The galaxy is three-dimensional, chaotic, and full of motion. Yet this object slipped almost perfectly into the same flat orbital plane that our planets share. Some astronomers estimated the odds of such alignment as less than 1 in 500. Not impossible, but unusual enough to get attention. And that's where the debate began. Harvard astronomer Loeb and his colleagues pointed out that if an interstellar object were ever designed to pass near inhabited systems, aligning with the planetary plane would be exactly the trajectory you'd expect. They emphasized that their suggestion was just a hypothesis, a scientific thought experiment, not a declaration. But the internet doesn't deal in nuance. It deals in certainties, even when none exist. Overnight, the narrative began to split in 2 directions. On one side were the astronomers quietly parsing the data, trying to understand why 3I Atlas was behaving the way it was. On the other were people convinced the object was engineered, that its early activity was intentional, that the alignment meant purpose. And caught between both groups were millions of people simply trying to understand what they were witnessing. The truth is that everything about 3I Atlas reflects how little we've seen of the universe. We've observed only 3 interstellar objects, which is an impossibly small sample of the trillions drifting between stars. Oumuamua behaved strangely. Borisov behaved normally. And now, Atlas is something in between. Familiar in some ways, unfamiliar in others. That unfamiliarity is exactly why it feels mysterious. It's not threatening us. It's not slowing down. It's not changing course. It's simply passing through, giving us a rare chance to study material forged around another star. But that rarity alone is enough to make people uneasy, because when something this old and this far-traveled crosses our path, it reminds us how little of the galaxy we've actually seen, and how much we still don't understand.
When astronomers traced the path of 3I Atlas backwards, one detail immediately settled the most dramatic theories. It likely entered our solar system in the late 1700s or early 1800s, long before humanity produced anything a distant civilization might detect. Whatever Atlas is, it didn't come because of us. And at 58 kilometers per second, it's not moving like a deliberate probe. On a galactic scale, that's slow. A journey to the nearest star would take over 20,000 years. No signals, no maneuvers, no course corrections. Just a silent fragment drifting through space the same way countless others have for billions of years. That's why most scientists see Atlas as natural. Not because the mystery isn't compelling, but because the behavior fits a simple truth. We're finally seeing objects formed around other stars, shaped by environments nothing in our solar system can fully explain. These aren't threats. They're glimpses, tiny messengers of chemistry and history from places we've never seen, reminding us how active and interconnected our galaxy really is.
So as Atlas makes its brief pass through our solar system and drifts back into the dark, the noise around it will fade, but the meaning won't. In just a handful of years, we've gone from seeing none of these interstellar visitors to tracking them as they cross our sky, each one carrying the chemistry of a different star system, and reminding us how active and connected the galaxy really is. Atlas isn't a warning, and it isn't a message. It's simply a traveler, a natural fragment older than every civilization on Earth, giving us a rare glimpse into places we may never reach. But I want to know what you think. Based on the actual evidence, which part of 3I Atlas stands out the most to you? If you found this breakdown helpful, let me know by liking the video, subscribing, and sharing your theory in the comments.